What is up, you guys? Welcome back to Twink Revolution. I'm Sam.
And I'm Gian. And we are joined by our dear, dear friends from Thought Topics. It's Nick and Chris from Thought Topics. Hi, guys!
Hello.
Wow, that just pulled a full Zoom audio on that. The pandemic provides certain limitations to how gay you can be on a podcast, and that was just homophobia.
Yeah, perfect. We're operating at our highest possible frequency.
Too much gay screeching on this episode already. People might be familiar with Thought Topics from their beautiful introduction to our 69th season 1 episode.
Oh, yeah.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, we spent a long time. We reached deep into the vault for that one.
Really? Yeah, tell us about your creative process for that. How did you get there?
I had a vision of us working at the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, and that was basically where I started. I just like the idea of Chris and I answering the phone.
Right, yeah. I think I blacked out during the process of making that intro. So
yeah, but it was one take. That was all we needed. It came from the heart. That
was beautiful. So Thought Topics is a podcast that I absolutely adore. It is regular in my rotation, and I gleefully look forward to every new release.
Thank you. Aww.
Yeah, don't get too into it. God, it's just a fucking podcast.
Oh my god, love it! Did you say you like it?
So tell the beautiful listeners a little bit about Thought Topics. What is it?
Sure.
Next
so, Thought Topics is, what is Thought Topics? It's a show, first of all. It's a program about, I guess, like, if you are looking for the most like ignorant and homophobic take from a couple of fags, I feel like that's kind of the best place to start. We've known each other for a really long time. We've known each other for like 9 years, and met in high school, which is crazy to think about. And then we lived together for like 4 years, and I had like a psychic breakdown like at the end of last year after graduating college, being like, I need to be more creative, like whatever, and like I need to satisfy my creative writing degree, and because I'm retarded. And then it was my literal, like, my gay ass New Year's resolution was to be like, I'm going to start a podcast. And then of course once we did, we went into like full lockdown. So it's just been like mostly just the product of like psychotic rambling in our basement garden unit for like a whole year.
It's like now, our podcast is like our own personal Rorschach test, and like, like, oh, this is where
the girls hear what they want to hear.
Yeah. Psychic break number 1. Listen, podcasting has boundaries. We're just brave enough to push those boundaries.
Well, so Nick, I think we originally met after you wrote for Twink Rev, essentially. I mean, I think we were like kind of mufos on Twitter or something, but like I didn't know who the fuck you were. I'm sorry, I was way too busy and important to pay attention to, just another face in the crowd. Right. But then you wrote a wonderful piece called Walk of Shame for the twinkrev.com online media empire.
Yes.
And it was wonderful.
I set the internet ablaze after writing a bunch of pathetic music criticism about like Kesha. I was like, here we go. Now we're going to get into some hard politics, baby.
Well, no, and it was good.
Did you get any hate?
I didn't get any hate, but I think that's because people saw my face and they were like, we're not, come on. Are we listening to her? Like, I don't know about that.
But like enough hate already goes that way.
Yeah. Well, all the hate that I ever got was I solicited it because I reached that. Like, okay, so like the premise of the article was that it was during like all that Pride talk where everyone was like, I want to fuck a baby at Pride and whatever, and like like all that kind of stuff. And then or
all that kind of stuff. We're all familiar with that.
That realm.
Yeah. That area of the internet. And then people being like, ew, you want to fuck a baby and whatever, like that whole kind of thing. Yeah. And the person who made this tweet that was like, Pride is not a gay zoo. Leave your straight friends and your kids at home. Like, I'm going to get fucked by a dumpster and whatever. Like that whole thing. Like I reached out to the author of that tweet and was like, hey girl, I wrote about you. And of course he was like some like little monster online who was just like, oh my God, my impact. Like Reddit to all his little Lady Gaga fan followers. And that's when I got the hate. But I wanted it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's never the pieces you think are going to get hate that actually get hate. I wrote a piece on like the pedophile hysteria around like that fucking like movie
QAnon
and like cuties and shit. I was like, oh, it's gonna get so much hate. And then River also gets a piece in the same day on our site, and that gets all the hate. And I'm like, God damn it, I tried so hard.
But you say Katy Perry is boring once.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you can't apply for any jobs.
Yeah. I like flippantly referred to the Katy Perry single as sounding like hot cross buns. And then like a lot of people were mad.
I've never had more scared Gian for a tweet when I said K-pop is trash on Twitter. He's like, oh, don't
Can
do
we
that.
go on record about something? Okay. K-pop is a fucking psyop. It's complete. Like, there is no way that many people are into it.
No way.
At least not that many Americans. I've never met anyone who listens to it in real life.
Oh, no. There's like Asian parties in San Francisco and all they play is K-pop. And I'm like, for one, this is horrible because no one's hitting on me because they're all there for like Rice Queens. But also, it's all this like K-pop music. I'm like, how can I sing to this? This is crap. I feel like I'm having an adrenaline like needle shot into my heart.
You are in very dangerous territory. I don't know if you know how many people have had their lives ruined by BTS fan cams. I would like to be on record as saying I think K-pop is a beautiful artistic tradition, which I respect. I have enormous respect for, and I have nothing but admiration for the talented artists.
I support North Korean pop. North K-pop
and K-pop.
It's just like Kim Jong-un, we love you. That's all it is. It's just like bland propaganda.
That's 13 girls.
Yeah, right. It's the 13 women in the entire country.
Yeah,
together to sing a little song.
They're all Kim's wife.
It's so funny that you mentioned like San Francisco K-pop party. I feel like the threshold in Chicago for that shit is
beneath the floor.
A Chicago K-pop house party would never exist.
Never. I wish.
Right? Yeah.
God, frankly.
San Francisco, has
basic taste.
Well, no, it's not basic taste. It's that to be outside the mainstream is to be in the mainstream here. I mean, it is a set of subcultures that are composed into a dominant culture. Okay. So, like, if your thing is like
being
leather
a faggot.
Do something interesting for fuck's sake. But no, if you're like into like leather puppy play or something, then you get to meet like 10,000 other faggots who are into that as well.
Yeah.
And you actually outnumber the people who are like, I like to have sex with the lights off, and
and listen to K-pop in the dark.
Yeah, that's like those are the fucking weirdos. So if you sexually fetishize Asians, and would like a place to gather with others who kind of.
And boy, have we got the scene for you.
Well, there's a night. Yeah,
it's all of San Francisco.
It's all a little depressing. You two beautiful ladies, buxom women, our wet friends,
our wet bitches
have often been, I think, our main cultural touchstone for like pop culture. You're both big pop culture sluts, right?
Yes, big time.
Yeah.
I think you had to explain to me what WAP was. I had to.
Yes, true.
Wow, yeah.
I went on a live stream of yours and I contributed absolutely nothing other than the part. I said something to the tune of like, have you seen the Beyonce movie? Everyone was like, no. And then I was like, do you remember when Katy Perry made those racist shoes?
Well, no, that's not quite how I remember this. No, it was. I believe that somebody had asked me or us what we thought about the Beyonce thing.
Oh, yes.
And I was like, I am so far out of my depth here.
What the fuck's the Beyonce thing?
Well, this is why. It was literally, Nick was online. I think I just DM'd Nick. I was like, yo, want to go on a live stream right now? Because people are asking me questions I'm just not qualified to answer.
I swear I was already drunk at that point.
Oh, yeah, I think you would maybe have blacked out at that point. Like you may have just gone
It was very late at
camera.
night.
Yeah, no, it was late. We were getting messy, and I panicked. But thankfully,
you were like, "Let me get the cultural correspondent in," and I was like, "So listen, it's the worst kind of black film. It's just like these like Solange clay tones, like carrying a pot through the beach. Like I don't know. Like it was very like no.
Like the budget's in the trillions.
Yeah, budget in the multi-trillion. You can't find the budget for that film online, by the way. Like if you look, no, you can't. There's no number.
Holy
because
shit.
there wasn't a number.
Just look up the GDP for Belgium or something.
Right.
Wait, what are Katy Perry's racist shoes? I want to learn more about this.
Oh my God.
Do you know that? Yes. Okay. Go ahead. She designed, I don't know, was it through like Gucci? Like, does she have like a crossover?
Okay, so she houses these shoes, God knows what, Kohl's or whatever the fuck. And she has there's sort of like a strappy mom sandal. And there's a face on the shoe itself that was like a black face. And then it had like big lips and like a sort of, she was called out for being like, your shoes are doing blackface.
Oh no. Oh no.
And then they changed them to a sort of blue suede material, but kept the facial features.
It was like, think of like a Mr. Potato Head, but a shoe.
Yes.
And one came in beige, the other came in like the color black.
Yeah. And then the black one received some criticism because it, and it was also at the time when Katy Perry was like hanging out with Migos and looking pretty horrible while she was doing it. So there was a lot of eyes on her in terms of the way Katy Perry behaves around black people.
Well, and so aside from your many podcasting endeavors, you were also kind enough to invite us over to hang.
We're sorry.
Yeah, we're so sorry. We did. We had a beautiful slumber party.
Wettest one ever.
And I know I loved that for several episodes after that appearance, you sort of would do this sort of weird preamble apology of like, I'm sorry, I know you're kind of just here because you came here from Twink Rev, but like honestly, this is what you're in for. Like this is what you came for.
Yeah. Well, I think like the operative principle of our show in general is that like I think both have like lamented in the last several years the fact that like you can't just be a faggot anymore. Like if I had my choice, we would never talk about politics. Like you would never even have been on, and like I would never have invited you.
Yeah.
And then like really what I just want to do is talk about fucking Katy Perry with her racist shoes. That's all I really want.
Well, I
politics. I don't think either of us really are. Same.
But I think we kind of relate in that we never really intended to be a political podcast.
Well, we kind of did.
Sort of. Well, yeah, sort of, but like only sort of.
Like in a Red Scare kind of way.
In a sort of incidental to your life way. But it's been a sort of terrifying horror, and hence why we had to bring season 1 to a close, is because this is the reboot.
It was spiraling out of control. It was getting to be, Joe Rogan over here.
Yeah, exactly. So you're here helping us set the tone for season 2, but we refuse to say what that is.
Like we had to get the lowest IQ faggots possible.
Right. We're here to burn the blueprint.
Yeah. Rip it up.
Throwing the mold on the fire.
Revolution starts at home. Burn it down.
Yeah. What's one step after unconventional?
Yeah, whatever that is.
Horny.
Yeah. Who can read, but also give us hot takes.
Right.
Barely read.
Yeah, barely there.
I like our dear friend of the pod, David, was like, we were hanging out and said like, oh, we're gonna go soon. We're gonna go record an episode. And he's like, wait, were you taking a break or something? Like, wasn't there a season break? Sounds like no.
Like you misunderstood the purpose. We're recalibrating, recentering.
Ending season 1 was to flagellate ourselves with everyone's love and affection.
Right. It was autofellatio in podcast form. It was just a beautiful self-love fest.
Yeah.
You just need to practice self-care sometimes in your podcasting world.
Our last episode sucked. All it was like nice people talking about us and us just like jerking off to like what we used to talk about.
Yeah. You guys were self-sucking. We were scissoring and looking directly in the camera.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. And now we're into a self-congratulatory circle jerk of podcast love, which is more
you're funny.
I love your pod.
You're a bitch.
How long?
Shut up, bitch.
How long you guys been at it? How long you guys been doing the pod?
We started in January of this year. So we've just carried our podcast to term. We're 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's beautiful.
I'm the only one showing.
I'm leaking afterbirth.
Perfect.
It is tough giving birth to that much love from the listeners.
Yeah, we had like I don't know, well, because initially like we just recently listened to the first couple episodes of our show, and like there's zero like no continuity at all. It was all referencing like a meme of like Demi Lovato like shitting her pants or whatever, and like it was just some shit like that, and like no continuity, nothing anyone could follow. And now these days we're pretty good. So
it's pretty slick. Yeah, I've got to say the for all your sort of like kind of like goofy self-effacing affability, it's a very slickly produced show, I noticed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah, I used to make really embarrassing gay SoundCloud music as a teenager, so I know my way around GarageBand.
It shows. I feel like that's the dividing line on the podcast world is, do you know how to use GarageBand properly?
I feel like also people don't realize that podcasting is a skill. Like,
yeah,
you actually need to be able to like not just keep saying like and
one day we will learn
keep fucking it up.
Yeah, it's not an admirable skill, but it is a skill.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like being a cop or...
We know how to dominate a conversation. We're like, I'm going to talk for an hour right to you. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, it is the same skill as being tedious at dinner parties.
Yeah.
Like, can you hold court at a dinner party for an hour?
Can you also?
Do you ever find yourself like slipping into podcast voice while you're in public? Like we have like the same friend circle, so we're like together all the time. And like I find that if we talk to each other too much, it starts to sound like the podcast. And our friends listen to it, so like I can feel eyes turning in the room, being like, "You need to shut the fuck up." Well, this is not Thought Topics Hour.
When we first started potting, literally all of our friends and family was like, "It's just like hanging out with you and Nick."
Yeah, like, it's just Nick yelling slurs and Chris, and we screaming. So it was very
yes. No, the slipping into podcast voice thing is real.
But also, I don't know who all listens to the podcast still, so you never really know like who knows about the stuff.
It's who's scowling at you.
People might be just looking right in your face and being like, "Yeah, I listened last week."
You know, because the look of sort of disappointment etched into their face. Yeah. They're like, "Oh, honey, like I'm not sure we can be friends anymore." I listened to the last episode.
Well, I don't have friends, so I avoid all of this conflict.
Yeah. Sam is also very taciturn and quiet in person generally. So it's just me doing podcast voice at him in his proximity.
I'm just there drinking the Red Bull. Like,
yeah. I mean, it's better than being like your podcasting voice is like is only a degree shy of your normal like padded cell, like writing in the walls in blood, like attitude, which is.
Well, I hate hearing myself talk, and then like when we started the podcast, people like, "Oh, I love your voice." I'm like, "Fuck off!" Like I hate it. Like I literally will not listen to the editing process because I can't hear my voice. It's like nails on a chalkboard. People,
especially like because when you're editing, you have to like keep hearing the same window of it over and over. Yeah. So it's like just you like saying the same dumb shit like 9 times right in a row. It's extremely disorienting.
The worst part was for my job, I talk to like 20 to 50 new people like a day, and now I fully understand why every email I receive starts with Miss and Mrs. like hello Miss, and then my name, and I'm like, well, that's okay.
Thank you. Well, so when you did have us over to your place,
you tortured us.
Well, you gave us a fun little exercise, which was to review some of the COVID VMAs, the Video Music Awards performances, see what we thought.
Yeah. It was great. I think we offered great analysis.
Yeah,
I think so too.
It was a thorough, deep Marxist materialist analysis of Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande.
We explained Stalin's thoughts of Miley Cyrus.
It was nice to hear an outsider's perspective of people who don't think that any of this shit is important. Like I remember being like, starting the episode being like, oh my God, I have this whole fucking thesis prepared about like Ariana Grande and like her stupid moon boots and whatever. And then like I heard, and then like you guys would have like one sentence where it would be like, yeah, I mean, this pretty much sucked, but this was cute. And I was like, oh, yeah, wait, you're right.
Kind of derailed your padded cell. But
we destroy the magic. I'm like, they're actually not singing during this live performance. And it's like, oh, ruined.
What? Yeah, right. It was very disorienting to come out. Because like, I mean, it's you can tell like how intoxicating the whole experience of like being like like a gay guy who loves pop music is, because that's like half of what Twitter is. It's like
Yeah.
all these fucking losers just being like, I'm best friends with Rina Sawayama, and like, you know, this whole thing.
It's so, in retrospect, it kind of sucks because I wrote an essay about Lady Gaga in high school and got a full A for it. Like I was that passionate back then. Like what the fuck is wrong with me?
I am so good at fucking with Lady Gaga that I got an award for it. So
Put your paws up.
Also, I love the intro for the episode. Belarus Barbie. My husband is missing still.
We introduced you guys to Aisha Erotica, the stylings of the great Mrs. Aisha Erotica.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so
are you familiar with her work? Because you should be.
We are now. We had to. Sam played it for about 3 days afterwards. He was like,
there you
stop.
Yeah.
But so you know, I do recommend people go check out the Thought Topics pantheon of beautiful characters and episodes in general, especially our episode. But all of them are good. But you are now in our house, bitches. So we thought we would return the favor.
I took my shoes off.
Yeah.
I'm in the house slippers.
I'm in the house slippers. I got my robe on.
Put a towel down.
It's gonna get wet in here.
Yeah. So what do you guys know about Eurovision?
I know absolutely nothing about it, which was why this was so thrilling.
The only thing I know about it is that I think there's like a Netflix movie now with Will Ferrell that's called Eurovision.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Who I fucking despise him. I think we gave I think I like ranted for about 20 minutes about how much I hate Will Ferrell in an episode one time about that movie. But so Sam and I are big. Well, no, it's just because Sam and I are big fans of Eurovision.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's our pop culture.
This is us being trashy pop queens.
This is our
just
VMAs.
Inaccessibly as possible.
All right, well then I'm glad I came prepared.
Yeah.
I have pages of notes.
Me too.
So Eurovision is basically a contest they created after World War II to unite Europe. And basically each country submits for their own...
Wait a minute, rewind. That washed over. This is because of a war?
Yeah, it was for reunification after World War II.
So there was this guy named Hitler, right? And
do they not allow Germany to participate?
Heard of her?
No, there wasn't it was after World War II.
It was to bring it back together, to rebuild from the ashes. They had to build a
they were like, listen, babe,
empire.
come over.
Yeah. Actually, Simon Cowell back in 1950 decided to create a contest. No, I'm just kidding. But
he looked exactly the same as he does today.
Yeah, before Botox. And basically each year countries submit a contestant to compete, and then they have 2 semifinals, and then the top 26 compete in the final, and basically the country or the United Europe decides to is the Eurovision winner. And
each country votes.
There's fucking like Israel and Australia in it now as well, which is lame, but
yeah.
So it's like the Olympics for like Eurotrash.
It's like Hunger Games, but like with singers instead of murder. It's literally that, because it's like super camp, super gay.
Yeah. So a few key facts about it. I mean, one is the Eurovision has its own distinct style, as in it is influenced by trends in music that humans listen to, but it is not really subject to them.
Yeah, the shadow of Swedish House Mafia loomed large over the program.
Yes, but think about the fact that what they were up to. So Swedish House Mafia has been, 10, 15 years of that. So 10 or 15 years ago, imagine what they were doing. It was like shoulder pads loomed large.
Well, also some stars like Celine Dion and ABBA got their starts because of Eurovision.
Yeah, ABBA was a winner of Eurovision in 1974.
And ABBA won. Celine Dion won for Switzerland. They paid her a fuck ton of money to perform as a Switzerland act, and she slaughtered everyone.
That is fucking crazy.
And then there's
Celine Dion is like the Kelly Clarkson of the Eurovision world.
She absolutely is.
Yeah.
She kind of broke through, and
wow.
ABBA are the One Direction.
The fifth
crazy.
harmony.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a bunch of rules about like who's allowed to write the song and when it has to be written and when you can enter it and blah 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 blah. That's all boring. Nobody gives a shit. What everyone does is the audience is exclusively gay men over 40.
Yeah. There's also no
nobody else watches
auto-tune.
this.
You can't auto-tune during the live performances.
Yeah, it's live singing only.
Yeah.
Wow.
And up to 5, you can have up to 5 people on stage.
6.
I think it's 6. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well,
Does that not include the interpretive dancers?
No, it includes
that
them.
includes the dancer. So the dance troops.
Okay, so they brought them from home. Got it.
Yep. No,
Yeah.
everything you see on that stage, including the props and everything they brought from home. So
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
no, it's quite the production, and as I say, it's a huge
Clearly.
thing. And then it's hosted in the winning country every year. The voting process takes like 3 hours of live awkward television with phone-ins, with satellite links that don't work. It's a beautiful mess. So it's a whole thing, and it's on about noon here, our time. So you just start drinking mimosas and just like.
Yeah.
You're just wrecked after the 4th hour of this nonsense.
They always joke now for Australia because it's morning for them when they go live. So it's like, good morning, Australia. Like,
There's a whole, there's 60 years of this bullshit.
and it's like 40 countries each year.
Yeah. So it's just, there's a whole, it has its own vocabulary. It has its own weird traditions that are just completely opaque to outsiders.
Yeah.
Which, given our love of shit like Marxism, Leninism, I mean, is really what we're about. We like being opaque to outsiders.
Yeah.
So what we did is we set some homework for our dear guests.
Yes.
Sorry.
And we waited till the very last second to do it. We literally finished 15 minutes.
That's correct. I mean, that's the right way to do this.
But it's fresh now, so we're ready.
This is a no prep podcast, and you're gonna hear some more though. So we're gonna try and skirt as much YouTube copyright algorithm as we can, and we're gonna play some clips of the songs we're talking about.
Want to hear your thoughts about the shows, and we'll discuss some of them and some of the like fun drama around some of them.
Yeah, and then
At the
what
end,
we're gonna
we'll
get
hear
to,
your ranking.
we're gonna get to a definitive ranking. We're gonna figure out what is the correct order in which these songs should be enjoyed. So
I was fucking born ready.
you ready? Yeah.
So
I
yes, I'm good.
So you want to introduce?
you can go for number 1.
So the first one is KEiiNO, Spirit in the Sky, which is the Norway submission in 2019.
All right,
I know that's right.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I mean it.
All right, here we go.
Follow you until the daylight shines away.
I need a hero, I need my light. Shining like waves will break away the night. I call it freedom, our name is freedom.
I'm doing DJ headphone here.
I'm fingering my ass
Same.
rhythmically in 6/8 time.
All right, that'll do with that.
Perfect.
Ladies, thoughts?
I mean, first of all, I'm sweating.
Tripping.
Wow.
What do we think?
The Ethno State's got talent. I'll tell you that much.
Do you want to go first?
Okay, so like my first thought, like coming away from this, was like every Swedish guy seems gay, but also like he's never had sex.
But
This
it's
is Norway.
Oh shit,
That's racist.
Norwegian. I don't.
Yeah, man, every Scandinavian does seem a bit gay. I did live
right.
in Denmark for a few years.
And
I
autistic.
Can co-sign a pretty gay.
It was very the part that alienated me about the song was the part that we didn't hear. I don't think.
Yeah, no.
Oh wait, can I make an attempt? And
Yes,
if I
go
can
ahead.
guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Sam can
context.
explain if you want.
So in Eurovision, they like to tie in traditional cultural aspects, and that he's a Sami rapper. So Sami is the native people of Scandinavia. So he's singing in the Sami language as a rapper.
And that's his shtick.
But see, the thing is, no one has time to explain. They're not going to explain that over like in the background. All I see is, oh no, this man is lazy.
Oh no, see, but they do explain.
Yeah, it was like under enunciated. I thought it was either that, or it was like it read Moana to me.
Yeah. It is like weird yodeling.
Yeah, they don't explain it in the show.
Let me see. I'm gonna see if I can get a little clip of
I hope
it.
that's okay to
Here.
say. He's white, so I think it's fine.
Yeah, here. Let me play a few seconds of it so people get the idea here. Oh wait. Oh, this is my jam. Yeah, that's what we're talking about there. So sorry, another fine tradition of the European, the Eurovision
They're losing
is
their shit.
yeah, no, correctly. I mean, it's so bad. But is that so every country broadcasts it on their own like national broadcasting networks.
Okay.
And so they'll have local presenters who are usually sassing over bits of it. Yeah. Like it was pretty famous that I think it was Terry Wogan or somebody for years in the UK would do it. I think Graham Norton does it these days because it's yet again fan service for gays over 40. That's like their whole audience. Yeah. And so there would usually they'll explain some fun facts, and the sorts of facts they'll drop is like, well, yes, this was a group that was put together in 5 minutes by some weirdo fucking TV executives, and this dude's a Salmi rapper.
Yeah.
It almost, the rapper almost sounds like the Azealia Banks ad libs where she goes like, hey,
yeah, it was very Azealia.
Very yeah, witchcraft.
Is Azealia
every yeah. Every man on stage was dressed for American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, a lot of high collars and glitter.
Yes. And then the woman was like fat Kelly Clarkson. Like she literally was like I was like, this looks like my third grade music teacher.
I thought I was looking at I thought it was Meghan Trainor in the universe where she actually got big.
Yes, really got fat.
Like famous big, not like big.
Oh, big, yeah. Sorry, I'm not really into fat girl shit.
I love how you say fat Kelly Clarkson as if it's not like regular Kelly Clarkson.
Well, Kelly Clarkson was not always as bad, but now talk show Kelly is pretty big. That's who I saw in this case. Like a sensible sleep bob. That's sort of what I was catching.
Yeah. Well, any thoughts on the chemistry between these three beautiful artists? The super gay face guy, the blonde girl, and the
throat singer,
baldy throat singer who does not interact or look at the other two ever.
Yeah. I mean, they certainly seemed enthused to be there. They seemed cheesed to meet each other. They were like, I don't know.
They did not meet before they got on stage, and when they did, they said, "Cheesed to meet you."
And then they were like, okay, so you two are gonna sing the song, and then when I give you my count, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna sing the language that they use in The Sims.
And we're gonna get this W, baby.
We're bringing home that trophy, girl. Let's go! Woo!
Hell yeah!
So tell them up.
It wasn't bad though.
Well, no. Let get any wrap up. Give us your final reflection. Summarize. Yeah. Any other thoughts on this one?
It was extremely like white people on a safari. Like it was very like I don't know. Like it wasn't giving the give for me, but it was okay.
It gave me like obviously with everything that we watched, there is this like EDM aspect to everything, no matter what it is. So it was very like like Electric Forest on Broadway.
It was like almost giving Blue Man Group.
I mean, the reference point you would want to reach for is like Aqua and Venga Boys, the loom large in the Scandinavian pop pantheon. Yeah. I think they're Dutch, but whatever.
Is coming.
Yeah. So, I think. Do you want to save? Well, no, you can. Sorry, you. Sam can save.
We'll save your rankings for the end. So they got 6th place out of 40 acts.
And what did they get in the popular vote?
In the popular vote, they won
by a long fucking way.
So the thing is, in Eurovision, they have the popular vote gets half the points, and then the other half is
a jury vote.
A jury vote where it's like musicians,
it's industry experts, radio shitheads, and
Dr. Luke, Billie Eilish.
Yeah, no, it kind of is, but it's the Dr. Luke and Billie Eilish from like Luxembourg.
Yeah. So each country gives a voting.
They're singers and chocolatiers.
Yes. Yeah. No, they each have their national juries, and then they sort of distribute this weird point system. It is so convoluted.
You also can't vote for your own country, so you do like your top 10 rankings to like whatever country.
It is the most. It is like the most complicated voting system in the universe, and that's what makes it better. But it's anyway.
It's an hour and a half of watching people like designate their votes from like different countries.
Well, so the girls are
I'm
losing
just
it.
cracking up because these rules are just make no sense.
No,
Like,
wait,
what if like American Idol, Kelly Clarkson's from Illinois, but you can't vote for her.
You try and get 40 countries to agree on anything, and this is what you come up
Right.
with, a European
this is the system that
bureaucracy.
ended a war. Okay,
Yes.
it
So
works.
the reason
Don't
they
fix it, ain't
didn't
broke.
do well in the jury voting is they only get one shot to perform for them the day before, and all of their lightings and stuff didn't work.
Their
So
visual,
the
their
show
visual
was shit.
didn't work.
Oh no!
But then the next day was a live performance sent to you, and it was great. And everywhere in Europe voted for them.
Yeah, so they won
But-
by a long way in the
Yeah.
popular vote, like hundreds of points ahead or whatever.
Wow.
But the jury vote gave them like almost last place
Yeah.
because their performance was like in the dark with,
Fat
no
Kelly,
amplification. And
Fat Kelly Clarkson cried because they got so many votes.
yeah, they were happy. And it turns out, so they were assembled at last minute, basically. They'd never really met each other, I think, before this.
Yeah.
And the dude that's not the Salmi rapper is a homosexualist.
Of course he is. He's Scandinavian.
just in case you didn't catch that.
Homosexualist. Okay.
Yeah.
Shocker.
All right, you ready to move on to the next one?
I'm ready.
Okay,
Great.
so we have Euphoria by Loreen of Sweden in
Let's
2012.
go, Loreen. Let's
Yeah.
go.
We were both like Loreen.
It is. I think it is Loreen, isn't it?
I thought it was Loreen.
It could be Loreen.
I don't know.
But anyway, who gives a shit? But Euphoria, 2012.
Let's go. Big L.
Well,
Perfect.
Great.
how do we
Oh, wow.
feel
What a
about
moment.
Sweden?
Sweden.
Oh boy.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Clearly, this was a shaker. This was a great performance, in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
I thought it was if Bass Nectar had discovered Bjork.
Yes.
yep. That's good. Good.
Yeah, very much that. But so what I did is I ranked all the videos 1 through 6, and
Nice.
I thought this was probably my favorite of all of them.
Well, you girl, you be good. Just give me your lead.
Oh, I didn't know if it was supposed to say or not, but
No, you're fine. You can rank out as you wish.
Yeah.
Well,
Nick?
I mean, if you feel very strongly about it, obviously. You should.
No, you can
Yeah,
say it's your
say it.
favorite. It's good.
Yeah,
No,
favorite.
hey, that's fine.
Well, this bitch shook the table. She really she came in and she shook the damn table. Girl. Okay.
What do you think of the look? Can we get
There's
some?
a point. There's a point where she sort of like rolls in the choreo, like she rolls on her back, and then she comes back onto her stomach and she looks right into the camera hard, and I got scared.
Because she's sort of rocking. It's a sort of like witchy girl Stevie Nicks, Bjorky
Yeah.
vibe, right?
Did you
She
love
has
the
like these insane Lily Allen bangs, like these crazy ass, like just like the bangs, like not the bang, like very like, and then also like the part that stood out to me was that like this is what all American radio music sounded like from 2012 to 2013. There wasn't anything that didn't have this synth sound. Like the song is like it is almost like We Found Love.
that's what I thought too. Or like the vocal breaks where she goes, It reminded me of, like very Britney Spears dances to romance.
It's very that. It's very I want to go.
Yep.
I want to go all the way.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing all those elements dip into whatever she was doing. Yeah.
And she really gave it. I mean, the part that I most appreciated about this performance is that in another American world, throughout her whole performance, they would have been cutting to like Nick Cannon or like fucking like Ryan Seacrest to be like, whoa, like the whole time. And I was like, I'm putting the camera right on this diva. And for that, salute.
Believe it.
Yeah, right.
So happy to report this song. So in 2012, I was living in Copenhagen in Denmark, and you would hear the song 15 times a night. It was because the song's going to come out a few months ahead, and they sort of like, as the local countries do their song contests, and they pick their finalists. So we sort of knew this was the Swedish finalist, and holy shit, yeah, every gay club would just be blasting the shit out the doors, and I wasn't sad about it, honestly. Love her, love everything about her.
So the thing is, because it's not a vocal contest, it's a song contest. Basically, you keep hearing the song multiple times performing the same performance over and over and over again. So you have like the country has their own contest selection, and then they have the semifinal, and then they have the final, which is like the final act where like they decide who wins. But also they have like build-up performances in different countries where they'll invite performers to perform their song to kind of build hype.
A bit of a press tour, press junket thing.
So it's like months of like hearing the same fucking song over and over again across Europe.
So it's like in a way like Juicy by Doja Cat would have been our contestant.
Yes. No, for sure. And this is perhaps an aside only to say, if the US was to ever compete, I think like in one dimension it would like fucking crush. But the problem is there's a weird internal code to Eurovision that I don't think American pop would scan well.
No,
because you have to imagine it. So Sam, do you want to break the suspense from 2012 and say, how did this song do?
She slaughtered. She won.
She won it by a long way.
I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah.
I mean, she ate it up. She just ate.
It is so good. And,
she did too.
And I think she wanted to have a bit of a career in sort of Northern Europe and things, and like she put out some other songs, I think.
Scandinavia is like one of the countries, in like Sweden and Norway are like some of the top winners throughout the last 60 years of Eurovision.
Yeah.
They just kind of like slaughter.
But I mean, it's such a bop. It's all those wonderful like rising intervals, you know. Euphoria.
I heard it in America.
To the end of time. It's great.
It was one of the first to actually like cross the sea and actually enter the U.S. market for radio music.
Well, that and you viva to Napoleon. Men. No ABBA fans in the house. Never mind.
I'm just turning my head sideways.
That was Waterloo in Swedish for the fans at home.
Are we ready for the next one?
Yeah, we're ready for what's up next.
Or did you have any final thoughts?
Oh yeah, please. Sorry.
I mean, it did make me think. The first thought that I thought was like, what would America offer up to respond to this? Because it felt like there were comparable songs at this period of American music that I do think could have stood a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Rihanna, Where Have You Been? Could have really ripped this one right out.
Or even like Billie Eilish, like When the Party's Over. Like if she went over there and did like a deep ballad with like her eyes gushing black liquid.
Right. I do think that they probably could have gagged Loreen.
Well, but what you have to remember is that a lot of that period of American pop music, though, was written by Norwegians and Swedes, and not just
Very
Max
true.
Martin, right? I mean, like there's all the like
Right.
Fuck, who was it did Umbrella and stuff like that?
Dr. Luke is Lukas Gottwald. He's some fucking whatever.
Yeah,
and he wrote TikTok for Kesha.
Yes,
so God
yeah,
bless.
but yeah, I mean, so
Wait, who is the guy who's like dun-dun-dun-dun-dun? For the Finnish guy, the one who performed last year?
Are you talking about Sandstorm?
Darude.
He was in Eurovision last year.
Darude, whatever.
They were one of the worst performing songs in all of Europe.
Oh.
It was crap. It was a climate change song, and it was so bad.
It was
Sandstorm 2.
Yeah.
It kind of was. It was him with some like generic pop dude.
Yeah.
And it was bad. It was a guy wearing a leather jacket well beyond the use by date of that. Loreen, how would you say her name?
Yeah.
Was, I think, like an interesting turning point where it was a song that like kept up with modern pop trends in Eurovision, which is very unusual. As we might see in this next beautiful number from 2014.
Donatan and Cleo, My Slovenia, We Are Slavic, Poland 2014.
All right, you ready for this banger? And you're gonna have to give us a blow-by-blow description of the video here, I think.
Blow by blow.
Sweet, so good. We'll prepare for you, delicious food.
I'm aroused.
Love it.
There's just no words to describe this performance.
And yet we're on a podcast, so you have to use words.
So obviously the best part of this whole number is that all of these like milkmaid thoughts are like churning butter like a dick. Like
washing clothes and like the boobs are just busting out.
Right, like major cleavage, like pouring water into the bucket. It was like very like horny milkmaid.
Right, and it was so we might after this ask you to figure out. So Sam and I picked 3 of these songs each, so we might try and get you to figure out who picked what. But
okay,
this is unfortunately a bit of a miss on our part. I think only because the visual impact of this is stunning.
Yeah,
nobody remembers that song. I mean, it's just it's dreadful. But
it's
the
horrific,
video, the visual.
Really...
I mean, there's visual stunning.
Yeah.
It's just titties and
like
churning butter.
Fucking eat your heart out. Like it was very I didn't buy that they were Swedes.
Yeah, they're Polish.
Polish.
Maybe that's why.
Everyone is Swedish.
Swedish this episode. Everybody's fucking Swedish. I didn't, whatever they were, I didn't buy it. I literally was like, this affect is so like, you are American.
Well, they had that sap, the Slavic ass pussy.
Yeah.
Yes, right. I wrote washboard ass pussy.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad we both made
Yes.
good.
Yeah, if I had to guess, this song was about sex worker empowerment.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah. What is it? This is our hot Slavic blood.
Yeah.
And I've got to say
not blood.
The version. So I had the pleasure of most contestants now compete in English. They'll sometimes mix in other languages. But generally speaking, English is the way to go. This wasn't always allowed. I think it was about 2000 they were allowed to.
Yeah, you had to sing in your own language.
You had to sing in a native language of an official language of your own country. But then they relaxed that rule, and then it just turned into the English pop fest, mostly with some awkwardly jammed in phrases in French or something.
Yeah. It's the inverse of K-pop, which is all Korean and like love forever. Like
yes, no, it is exactly that inverse. But this one. I have had the pleasure of seeing it in Polish because I guess in their local contest they did it in Polish, and they did the official version in English. It doesn't make any more sense in English. I've got to say it's still just as baffling, but holy shit, it is a feast for the eyes. I mean, there's pouty lips, there's bucks and breasts popping out of weird sort of slutty milkmaid outfits,
traditional Polish dress.
Cut to the like showing some cooch.
Yeah,
they are.
It was incredibly yonic, and it was like the level of like. I mean, it was a song about milk, and among other things. But the message that I got from the end was that it was just like. I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
It is. I had no questions.
No questions.
Didn't really have answers either, but
right.
The message being, come to Poland and we will fuck you.
Right.
Okay.
I will fuck you in the wash basin.
Listen, I'm below the poverty line, but my skin is clear.
Yeah.
Sam, how did this song do?
So this one got 14th place.
Okay.
Damn, that high?
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, there must have been some real bad ones.
Yeah, who was 40th?
Yeah.
I want to hear who came in last.
Also, can you guys hear me crunching in the mic? Because I can actually stop.
I haven't heard it so far.
No, I didn't hear eating.
Our listeners will murder you.
Yeah. Amy Therese
Amy was
candy
eating.
whenever
she was eating
she's
on
on
candy, and literally the most abuse we've ever got was like, this is a really interesting episode. Fuck this psychopathic bitch. I will strangle her to death with my fucking hands.
And they're actually mad. They're like, how dare you let her eat on your show?
Fucking show this bitch to stop eating. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, people are
okay.
psychos.
Yeah, if those people are listening to this show, please don't come listen to the Hot Topics show because we have like an entire 20-minute segment dedicated to slurping.
It's become like a horrible ritualistic thing where we go across the street to the gas station, get combos, Kit Kat, Hershey's, whatever's
going to be the loudest in my mouth.
Yeah, and then we just eat it the entire time.
ASMR
So yeah, we stopped drinking mixed cocktails in quarantine because it used to be a lot of clinking of ice and glasses.
Bitch, I'm drinking a rum and coke right now.
Yeah, no ice though.
There was ice in it.
Oh. Well, anyway, should we get to the next song?
I'm so ready.
So ready.
What's the
Okay.
next song,
I'm very
Sam?
excited.
So we have Hatrið mun Sigra by Hatari, Iceland 2019.
Okay. All right.
I wish we could share the video somehow. Oh, y'all dumb motherfuckers want a key change?
Better than Kesha.
Oh, God.
So good.
I just ejaculated everywhere.
Give us your thoughts.
What?
bitches.
How did you like that one?
Hold on, I have to scroll away from my running app saying, go for a jog tonight.
No, this will get your heart pumping.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Chris, question. So when I got to this video, I'm overall just kind of, again, we didn't know what the fuck Eurovision was.
Yeah.
I don't know if this was something that was like cool, unconventional, or if everyone else thought it was like corny, like.
I know what I thought.
Right, I know what I thought, but again, it's from my perspective, so I don't know how.
Right. I was like, is this the first? You said like you had a really good example. Which is this like putting Sophie on Eurovision, or is this like Nickelback? Like, what are we doing?
I was like, is this the equivalent of putting Sophie on America's Got Talent or The Voice? Right. Like,
so it's for the listeners' benefit. Let us describe a little bit what's going on here.
So this is alternative music group formed in Iceland, and basically they identify as an anti-capitalist queer BDSM dance music crew.
Yeah, there's a lot of latex jumpsuits.
Yeah,
there's a lot of like
harnesses.
There's harnesses and dudes on leashes.
Yeah.
Eyeliner
Is one way to describe it. I was going to say retarded.
Yeah. So the guy doing the kind of the screamy vocal fry bits is kind of hot Hitler Youth vibe.
Yes.
He's so hot.
And then the other guy doing all the high wailing Sigur Rós bits.
That was a man.
Is a man with just the worst ducktail mullet I've ever seen.
Idea.
It's just a fanned out
It looked
mullet.
like I just said it. Wow. Okay. Hello. He looked like Peaches.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, that's what she's up to these
we're
days.
fucked now. You said it, and we're gonna get that cut out of their episode, and we're gonna be like, yeah, more turfs on the podcast.
It is in the video. Looks like.
Yeah.
They're not referring to the person, the weird fucking Icelandic dude.
To be fair, I thought it was a girl.
To the
first time, too.
performance.
Yeah, no, they're fucking with sort of some androgynous themes throughout, and some big BDSM themes. And there's some like bald dudes in spiked collars on leashes being led around the stage and shit. It's a lot.
Some pyrotechnics.
All genders capitalist. Okay, so my using of it is actually appropriate.
Okay, give us your thoughts.
Yeah. So musically, what do we think of this little number?
I just said there's something. My only notes are there's something extremely gay about this song, and I'm not sure if that was the intent, and it was.
Yeah.
So I was right on point.
Period.
I didn't. I'm finding okay. I didn't like it.
I don't have anything to help either.
I didn't like it. It was bad. I thought this was very like, who is it giving to you?
Again, I went through it as if like I was watching America's Got Talent or like American Idol in 8th grade, and then I put them on, and like my 8th grade self would have been like, "Whoa,
yeah, right."
Like it gave me spooky, like like it gave me very like Nicki Minaj, Roman Holiday at the VMAs.
That was actually scarier.
Right. That was actually
no. It's kind of it's crappy cage dancers or like local gay bar does a Dracula tribute vibes.
Well, because there was the guy in like the leather mask who has this big hammer.
Yes.
Who's beating the cages with the girls inside, and the girls are doing sort of like kind of a wiggling titty dance.
Low energy go-go.
Yes, very that. And it left me feeling.
It's just like if you're gonna go like this weird I'm envisioning like at some point someone's gonna do this like surreal performance where like someone's gonna be singing, someone's gonna be making a sandwich in the back,
right.
Someone's gonna be like walking a dog with like their pants on their
like ultimately
head.
there was no cock and balls on the stage.
Yeah. No, and that's so there was a controversy which I'm sure Sam can speak to, but I've got to say just on that surrealism front, there was internal dissent between Sam and I about whether we include this one or the 2005 Finnish entry Lordi, which is a song called Hard Rock Hallelujah, looking like Lord of the Rings or extra type things,
like full
latex monster suits and shit.
And they won.
They did great. Yeah, and they're doing kind of just like glammy like hard rock.
Hard rock. Hallelujah.
It's horrible. And then the best part is and then there was another one which is Russian babushkas baking cookies on stage while
literal
there's
grandmas.
Just generic. It's like kind of
they had second place.
Yeah. So like the genre has been tapped out.
How did they get an oven on stage?
Amazing stage management.
Yeah.
I mean, have you guys seen the Great British Baking Show?
Yeah.
No.
They have like 30 fridges, 30 ovens, 30 whatever. They just put them in a field.
Yeah, in like the woods.
Yeah, like
you can manage one oven on stage for some grandmas to pretend to bake cookies.
Right.
Do you guys want to know what place it got?
The Keystone Pipeline was for.
I'm really scared.
Go ahead.
So we got 10th place and had one of the highest voting numbers from the general population across Europe. I think it was like in the top 3. But when their full voting score came out, they show shots of them at the contest. And this year it was in Israel, and they waved Palestinian flags, but you can't do political things or you get kicked out. So no songs are allowed to be political. So they waved Palestinian flags even after most of them were taken away because they were already kind of suspicious.
They confiscated a bunch of Palestinian flags off them, and they had a bunch hidden who knows where, exercise left to the reader.
Boy.
Yeah.
But no, they managed to get a bunch of Palestinian banners out on stage in Israel in front of all of Europe, which for all their cringe, I gotta say, respect.
Yeah.
That was the real punk move. Like the song is a sort of completely forgettable electro-industrial pop number.
I love it. It's on my Spotify.
But I've got to say that they did count where they got disqualified, I believe, right? Or the Icelandic thing
they got fined.
Got fined or something. So, but put it this way, like it was
like
a big
MIA
deal
at the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Yep.
Although this is more like Janet Jackson at the Super Bowl.
Yeah. To be fair, this is a quite regular theme in Eurovision of songs and actors doing political stunts where they get fined, where people have like autonomous zones in Europe and they'll like wave flags in those countries, which is illegal. Or Ukraine won and they sang a song about Stalin excommunicating a bunch of people, and that was not considered political. And it was like, okay, well.
Yeah. Like this is the thing is like I wish that like if the song had been like basically note for note but in Icelandic and it was like Beyonce blow and then they were like Free Palestine, I think like work.
I was thinking about that. Like Beyonce would be the one that we send and it would be green light.
Yeah, we'd send Beyonce and she would do
Madonna was there that year doing the halftime show.
Fine, we're showing.
Okay, work.
And she people wearing like the signs and they were like hugging or kissing or whatever, and she's like, we can all love each other. And it's like, for one, she sounded like complete ass.
Yeah,
like she was horrible.
It's just because Madonna wants to make out with strangers all the time.
Yeah.
Well,
Drake turned her down, and now she's like, I'm gonna make out with all of Holland.
You know what I would do if I was a pop star and I was gonna be on like global TV. I would just have like the political message on a post note, and then when I give the host a hug, I just put it on his Free Palestine.
Nice.
Just smack the back. Cancel Netflix.
Ever since Australia got into this shit a few years ago, I've been trying to sort of think about what New Zealand could do, and I think they should just conscript Lord.
Yeah,
I think it should be like eminent
just
domain.
Just get another 13-year-old boy.
Yes. We have a lot of those in our country. Oh God, I just saw what's coming up.
We're
next.
willing to sing about how black people's music sucks.
Okay.
A lot of royals.
Are you ready for the next one?
I'm so ready for
again,
this.
born ready.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
to be born
Jane
ready.
Bogaert featuring Bano, La Vita, cos'è,
La vita cos'è.
Switzerland, the year 2000.
Yep, ready?
La vita cos'è? La vita dov'è? La pena nel cuore che mi crea dolore se tu non ci sei. La vita dov'è? La vita cos'è? Un palco d'amore ma l'applauso non c'è se tu non ci sei. Così come il mondo fa vivere ogni giorno.
Same key, please.
Come la luce di una stella. Vivere un amore nel cielo non c'è una cosa.
Oh, I think we can cut
Wow.
that there. Well, boys, what do we think about Jane Bogaert from Switzerland, the year 2000, featuring Bano?
I can't hear that song without like me like wanting to be like slow motion, like comforting a beaten puppy, just like doing whippets real slow. Like it sounds like the song that's playing while a commercial is listing all the side effects.
Well, it reminds me of like the
La
circle
Vita
of
Cos'è
life.
may include.
The kind of like the beat reminds me of the circle of life from the Lion King.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
got-
I literally wrote that down as well. I
Oh
wrote
my
that. It's
gosh.
the Lion King vibes.
Well, so this one, it's fun. So Sam picked the minute or so we were going to play of these, and he was more charitable than I would have been. Only because she was considered kind of a pretty hot favorite to win throughout, and Sam can reveal how she did in the end. But you'll notice that's the performance from the final that we just played there, and it is pitchy as fuck. Like more so than many Eurovision performances are a little wobbly. It is truly live vocals with no auto tune on it. But
Frankly, I thought it was great. I didn't
Yeah.
hear a sour note on the bitch.
Right.
no, it's on the verses. She's really like just wandering everywhere. It's just like
I think there's something sort of like endearingly like narcoleptic about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like
mid-tempo ballad.
yes. It was extremely Lynchian to me. Like there was a lot of like, but initially our only note, the first note that both of us wrote down was huge mouth.
Well, huge mouth, and then she's wearing a strapless sort of silk ball gown. It looks like a sort of a prom gown. It's like purple or lavender sateen dress.
She's like,
And
I'm
she
or
has
like the fucking
unshaved
matron of a
pits.
whorehouse.
Yeah, or like not recently shaved pits, and she's doing a lot of armpit work. She's doing a lot of like lot of big arms in the air. It's like left arm la vita, right arm cos'è. It's all beautiful.
She's like, I'm gonna get fingered tonight in my ballroom gown. It's
Listen,
prom night,
she's a
bitches.
She's a point queen. She just points to the crowd.
She's a pointer sister.
Yeah, point.
She loves to point.
Yeah, I know her outfit head to toe gave me like season 2 Sex and the City budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that means I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was
Very, like,
2000.
and you. Like,
It was very like of the time of Eurovision where a lot of like diva
Yeah,
tap,
it's all
like
mid-tempo divas.
Yeah.
Albano
wait, what year was this, by the way?
2000.
Oh, yeah, I was 3.
Yeah. So and the video production sort of shows on it, but it's more like that moment in Cool Runnings where they flip over at the end, and so they can't win. This is sort of that. This is that Eurovision moment where Albano is very famous in his own right. He's a singer who was sort of he's just there doing backing vocals in just kind of not even remotely the same key for most of the song as whatever the fuck she's up to. It's
What
just
does La
a
Vida
horror show.
Cos'è translate to?
I don't know. It's something life. I
don't fucking know.
mean, I should have Googled that before, and we are a no research podcast.
Well,
Yeah.
La Vida is the life. I know that.
The
Yeah.
life.
It's giving me life.
What is life? There you go. Oh,
Yeah, what is
cos'è.
life?
Okay, that makes sense.
It is what is life.
What is life? There you go.
It didn't sound like a question, frankly. She seemed she
No,
had my
she's
made
just
up in that chorus.
telling you.
She's like, it's this life, bitch.
No, she's definitely telling you what life is. And oh god, I just sort of cut back to the frame, and there's a lot of like weird like bejeweled or bedazzled cut-ins to this shitty ball gown. There's just a lot going on there, and she does look kind of like budget Barbara Streisand.
Yes.
Very.
Off-brand, like own brand Barbara Streisand.
Yeah. She before the performance, she took a little pair of scissors and she said, I'm going to do a couple peekaboos.
Yeah. Sam, how did she do?
She got 20th place.
Which in 2000, to be clear, is dead last.
Wow. I can't, frankly, I can't believe that.
I mean, I wasn't excited.
No, I wasn't excited with that. I mean,
so the thing of Eurovision is the ranking of when you go on is random, and the whole point is usually memorable at the very end because you can't vote until till everyone's performed. So if your song's memorable after 26 different acts,
Well, at
like
the time it was 20.
yeah, but like over 20, but now it's 26. If you're not memorable, you don't get votes.
Well, but this song, it's funny because it is an enduring staple of gay bars across Europe because it's so fucking camp and over the top. And there's a recorded version of it that is perfectly lovely. Like it's
like Mommy
artful.
Dearest, the song. Like it's so campy and good.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's kind of show tune shit, but it's just because she was really favored. She was favored to win. She was considered a favorite because it was a very strong song. It was getting strong play. Everyone liked it.
Yeah.
Had a sort of an Italian pop star in it doing backing, so it sort of had like was going to get that vote.
Good.
There's very political voting alliances as
There's
well
also,
about who you get on side. And then she just had just a horrible vocal performance. So her vote, she just shredded the whole thing, and it was awful. It's out of tune like half the time.
Yeah, there's gambling around who's gonna win what. So like in the Hunger Games, where they do have like the ranking of who's gonna win and what the rates are, they have that for Eurovision. So they rank on what are the odds people winning in before they even go on.
I used to own a house, and then I bet it on a Eurovision contest.
So
to keep up with this this Hunger Games analogy, is there like a real life district one? Like, is there a country that everyone's like, oh fuck, Bulgaria is gonna win?
Who's the New England Patriots?
So I'm trying to remember who's won the most. I think it's Ireland.
yeah, Ireland won 7 times in a decade.
Jesus Christ.
And then they put a Turkey in because they basically couldn't afford to keep winning.
We didn't explain the most important rule. So when you win, your country host Eurovision has to pay for the whole thing.
Yeah, your national broadcaster has to pay for the stadium and all the bullshit the next time.
So Ireland basically like sabotaged because they were winning through what was the music called?
It was all the kind of river dance Celtic revival shit where they do a lot of like ethereal Celtic nonsense.
So they basically
Hear
tossed
the
it.
voice in the bottom, like all that shit.
They were like, we can't win anymore because it's costing us a fucking ton of money. It's kind of like the Olympics where you lose a ton of money.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we can't win anymore. We've won 7 times in like a decade. This is fucking expensive.
Yeah, they had Johnny Logan just kept fucking wheeling it in for them.
Yeah.
So,
the last one.
yeah, we're onto the final stretch
So we have
here.
Fairytale by Alexander Rybak of Norway in 2009.
I hate this song, but go ahead.
Well, know me before you judge me. Ready?
That was then, but then it's true. I'm in love with a fairy tale, even though it hurts. 'Cause I don't care if I lose my mind. I'm already cold.
Yeah, it's good, but can we get some annoying violin? Oh, thank you. Oh, that was good. Do it again. Oh, thank you. Clap along on the 1 and the 2, bitches.
Every day we started fighting. Every night we fell in love.
All right, that's quite enough of that. I think we got the point.
So what are your thoughts? You loved it?
Front to back.
Yeah, we Googled him because we wanted more.
Yeah.
It sounds exactly like the Shrek 2 soundtrack. Like, exactly.
I made a weird note where he sounds exactly like Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he's up to these days.
Yeah, right. The whole thing, like, I
I'm
literally
in
I wrote,
love with an American idiot.
Yeah, right. I was like, this fucking loser ass Panic at the Disco, like vaudevillian fucking retarded little number. Like, I was like, this is so brutal. Like, it was like, and he was so fucking proud of himself too. Like in the video, like, he looked like so proud for like shredding up his little fiddle bow. I was like, fuck you, girl.
But the thing is, like, at the end, we both were like, okay, this sucks. But we were like, I can see this winning, or I can see him getting fucking huge because of that. I wrote down the hair.
The hair.
Yeah, like, it's Bieber. It's Bieber hair before there was Bieber hair. That was 2009.
Yeah, 2009.
That was 2009?
Yeah. Yeah, no,
okay,
so
that makes sense.
I mean, yeah, that was the vibe.
And he's rocking some robust eyebrows. I said as a person with robust eyebrows.
He's hot.
Like, he is like, it's very odd because he's clearly like 32, but he like has a jail face.
Yeah.
Like it's disturbing to me.
He's Belarusian, I believe, originally, but then migrated to Norway.
He's
or something.
Dasha's brother. No, I'm
yeah, that's Alexander Rybak. Yeah,
he's Norway's submission. Do you want to know what place he got, or should we tell him yet?
Yeah, go for it.
So he got first place, and he had one of the highest rankings ever.
It was a bad year, to be clear.
It was in Russia, and everyone sent crap. And it was literally like one of the most unwatchable Eurovisions ever.
I buy that. If this was,
I knew he won. I knew it.
I knew it. I could tell. It was all over his smug little face that he won.
There was something weird about being like, I'm a little baby in overalls and a little violin, and you want to have sex with me. Like,
he's wearing a stupid little waistcoat.
He's also returned 3 or 4 years ago and got like 20th place. So
yeah, he couldn't repeat the magic of his because he did another song where the format was like
it's how you write a song.
Oompa. So kind of that like this beat and then fuck it, break out the violin, bitches, like
it's like he lives inside of like a very elaborate cuckoo clock. He comes out and there's just like all these little girls dancing around him, and he's
I don't know. I mean, I noticed that with all the acts, there's like this weird, like, you can't just sing, you have to like dance or like do some kind of, I mean, obviously you mentioned before that the visual aspect was huge, and I thought the visuals were a waste of production.
Like this like fucking like Camelot fucking, I was like, how old are you? Like, seriously.
Well, it's funny you say the wasted visual production because I mean there were a lot of like close runner-ups that we almost included in this collection.
Yeah.
One of my favorites is a song which unfortunately I just couldn't find a good video of the performance because I think it was Ukraine. It could have been fucking Romania. I don't remember. A few years ago, maybe call it like 2014-ish.
Which song?
I don't remember.
Oh.
This is the problem. So they but the thing is they wheeled out a bunch of giant fucking cannons on stage as props, and there's like I think like girls riding the cannons or whatever, and they never fire them. And I was just like, this is Chekhov's fucking cannon, and it's a completely forgettable song, hence why I literally do not remember what the song is. But to have like 3 giant cannons on stage and then do nothing with them, wasted opportunity.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. I just keep thinking to myself, like, I see the amount of like lights, camera, action, and I feel like if someone was like, here's a stage, here's unlimited production costs, do whatever the fuck you want, I would want to put on this
show of a fucking lifetime.
Right, you at least get your dick out.
Yeah.
Oh,
right. At least.
Let's just start there.
No, that's what I'm saying. You walk on stage, no pants.
So I think it's important to say
crotchless pants.
The last few years,
I've given everyone in the audience a clicker to start the vibrator in my ass. Look under your chairs.
Yeah. The oh my bod sound is triggering from the tips, the audience tips.
So the last few years, the visual effects have become much higher, where like there's visual art displays and like simulations and like there were like robots and shit and like
they're up to the game. And it's also it's about the last like I want to say 6 or 7 years where they went to a sort of full like LED stage where they can sort of do like full screen visualizations, and people have done that to good effect. You've seen, I assume, the Conchita-versed Rise Like a Phoenix.
That's the only one I've seen.
Right, which like, you know, she used that to very good effect. and was probably one of the earlier ones to kind of do something with that, where it's like, oh my god, there's a giant fucking flaming phoenix coming out of your ass, like it's good on you, like. So yeah, it's been elevated, but it was once upon a time, and it's not that long ago. It was an orchestra, and you had to basically like the country had to deliver the sheet music to the orchestra to perform, and then they would have to sort of stand on the stage, very wooden. There's some banger numbers, and mostly what they could sort of fuck with in terms of staging was like, how many sequins do you put on your jumpsuit? So there's a lot of ugly jumpsuits.
Yeah. Reject modernity, embrace tradition, baby.
Yeah. So I think that would be the way to do it, is do a sort of a sequined or rhinestone embezzled jumpsuit, which is crotchless.
Yeah, straight up orchestra. And before you begin your number, you emerge from a big vulva. And then you get out on the stage and you make all of your dancers drink a bunch of Bogaert.
That's just FKA Twigs.
Yeah, right. FKA Twigs at Pitchfork.
So before we get to your rankings of these beautiful our mini Eurovision reenactment, the side contest is can you figure out who picked which songs? You know, and there's no stakes to this. Yeah. There's no prize awarded for this one.
The loser dies.
I feel like do you have any guesses? Well, okay, so you said it's 3 and 3.
We'll run them through for you. So the first one, the KEiiNO I got a spirit in the sky.
You guys are both pretty excited about that one.
Yeah. Based on your emphatic Zoom performance, I'm going to say that one was you.
Yeah, I want to say that was Sean.
Fair enough.
Knew every word, every beat.
Yeah. That was a negotiated settlement between me and Sam. We had to include that one because it had a good story and a bizarre Sami rapper. All right, number 2, Loreen, Euphoria, forever to the end of time. Yeah.
I'm gonna say, what do you think?
I would say Sam.
I'm gonna say Sam as well.
My goodness! Wow. How about the Icelandic bondage freaks?
I want to say that was Sam as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a Sam.
It was me.
All right.
We Are Slavic.
Yeah, We Are Slavic, milk churning Polish girls.
I'm gonna say that was Gian.
That was Gian.
Yeah.
Correct. Fuck.
Okay. This is very like reverse BuzzFeed quiz. Like we actually do know you guys based off of your Eurovision clips.
I guess your weight based on your favorite Scooby-Doo character.
Fairytale by Alexander Rybak.
I'm in love with a fairy tale.
I'm upset with whoever picked this.
I think it's Gian.
Wow, yeah, interesting. You'd be wrong.
It was me.
Yeah. The last one, Jane Bogaert was me.
Yeah.
That's one of my faves, honestly.
I would have flipped those, honestly.
No,
Alexander Rybak's performance is like one of the most iconic performances ever.
Yeah, and Sam was a fetus in 2000. Keep that in mind too. So
okay, sure.
Yeah.
So
I was a fetus.
No, I was a fetus.
We are all fetus. So let's then, you got to start presenting us your final rankings.
Yeah, the Academy Award.
Yeah, you got to tell us. Maybe. So in traditional Eurovision fashion, you tend to present the results in reverse order. So worst to best. Who are you giving points? The fewest points to. Who are you giving the most points to?
I feel like I regret my ranking now. Like I'm looking at my.
No, you got to stick with your gut. You got to stick with your gut.
You can't change.
Okay, you go first. I have to workshop.
So we're our number 6, right?
Yes, our number 6. Do we agree?
Well, we're gonna figure that out right now.
Okay,
so. wait. Well, we don't even know their names. Yeah. So I chose as my least favorite was the Fairytale one.
Me as well.
Okay, fair.
Wow.
By far least favorite. Very like Brandon Urie goes track. Like
hated it. Period. All right.
Great. All right. What's number 5?
Number 5, I picked Jane Bogaert.
Did you really?
Yeah, I didn't like it that
Vita, cos'è.
I gotta say that one really spoke to me, so that was not what I picked.
All right. What did you pick for number 5, Nick?
I'm gonna say the Icelandic group Hatari. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just gonna keep doing this.
Boy.
Pro news.
Okay. Number 4 was the this I think I put the Slavic rapping white girl group.
This is a hot Slavic blood. This is us getting around the YouTube algorithm here. We might cut the tracks in instead of it, but I'm probably not, honestly.
Yeah.
Just cut in random Katy Perry songs.
Random Katy Perry songs.
right.
I did not pick them. We're doing number 4 right now?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to say KEiiNO.
Oh, baby, you're a firework.
Your word. And then like throat singing in between.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your third place?
Third place?
Yeah.
Third place, I put Hatari, the BDSM people.
Okay.
Hot.
I'm going to say Loreen Euphoria.
Number 3.
You suck dick.
Yeah, you're canceled.
I said Loreen is
Okay,
number 3.
okay,
She's cute.
That's
She's
okay.
a cute girl.
Hey, the 3 is not bad. That would be
Okay.
awarding the 8 points in your
Second place.
You're going to hate my...
I do hate your rating already. I'm looking at your fucking stupid ass post-it note.
I know.
I'm gonna beat your ass.
It just
Okay,
says,
I'm
it just
not
says
gonna
free
lie.
Palestine. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Nick's just drawing a dog.
My number 1 was Free Israel.
Wait, are we on number 3 or 2?
We're number 2.
Two.
Number 2, I did Spirit in the Sky. Duh. Because it reminded me of like,
in the sky.
because it gave me such hard EDM vibes. I started to imagine that it was like Nero.
Yeah,
You know who
that's
Nero
right,
is?
that,
Yeah.
yes.
Yep.
It took me to Perry's stage.
All right. What do you got for number
My
2? Nick?
number 2 was the Swedish Girls.
Oh.
I got the eye of the tiger.
Do you mean the,
That
the
one?
Slavic girls?
Yeah, fuck again with
This
the
is
Swedish.
a hot
Everyone's not Swedish.
blood.
You're all Swedish to me.
We own
Subscribe to my
IKEA furniture
podcast.
and we do something.
Yeah. And in first
I'm gonna
place.
pick them, and I'm only picking that based on the visuals. Obviously, the song was bad, but the milking did speak to me.
Perfect. The first place.
All right. What is number 1?
I revealed it earlier because I forgot we were doing it. But,
Yeah, it's fine. I don't
Loreen
remember,
was-
so nobody else does either.
Yeah, Loreen was obviously my favorite by far, I think.
Okay.
And that was the only where I was like, it
It's a really respectful.
It gave me, like,
answer.
a-
she did gag me. I'll say.
gave me like that guttural gay experience of like,
Very,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
It
we
made
must
me-
stand a queen.
Yeah, it made me
Yep.
realize that this is all worth it. This shit.
Yeah.
I gotta say, my number 1, I gotta give it to my girl, my diva, my queen, my Eurovision legend, La Vita Cos'è.
Fuck yeah. That's
Wow.
fine because that's honestly, that's up there for me. I've drank the night
really-
out. I've been kicked out of many gay bars
Yes.
while propping up a stool listening to that.
That's, I think, what energy it gave me is I heard it and I was like, this absolute, like, even if it's bad, this does play at the bar. Like, and I
Oh,
would go up.
definitely does. And believe me, you can have a good existential crisis and regret your life decisions up to this point to that song.
Yeah. Well, it's like dancing to the near, far, wherever you
It
are.
gave me-
That.
I was
It's
thinking
very
about that
good
song
stuff.
the entire time.
Yeah, no, she has some Celine Dion vibes, certainly.
Very.
Did we sell you
But yeah.
on Eurovision? Are you
Yeah, are you
hooked?
gonna be watching next year?
Yeah, frankly, I'm pissed that it's not happening this year.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
it's sort
It
of
happens in May.
yeah, it's
Okay.
yeah. So and this year it
fingers
was kind of
crossed.
cute. There's a lot of the performers, like we got to see the songs.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Sam and I have an elaborate like ranking system that runs now months into the run up on
Yeah.
it because we have to assemble our rankings and then figure out who. So we'll clue you in next time.
I won
you can come
last
up with
year.
your ranking on who-
Nice.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
got
we're
the-
gonna run a fantasy bracket out here.
We
I'm
do.
gonna
We
hustle
do
up
fantasy
with my-
Eurovision. This
Yeah.
is the straightest thing we've ever done.
I love taking a football bracket and just putting fucking non-football in it.
Hell
Barbie.
So I'm not sure if you guys know,
Lady Gaga.
but
My quarterback is Nikki Hilton. Just-
So America is doing their own version called the American Song Contest, where all 50 states submit their own act and compete against each other.
blah blah blah.
If we submit Chance the Rapper, I will kill myself.
It's
Is that what you got to offer?
Chicago will absolutely attempt to offer Chance the Rapper. They're gonna literally will try it.
but it's being ran by the
Volunteer.
Eurovision people, so hopefully it won't be complete shit.
Sam, what's
They're gonna pick Cupcake.
Yeah,
Sam, what's Wisconsin gonna offer up?
the Green Bay Packers. They're gonna rap. I have no idea. It'll be a country. Like half the country's gonna do like country acts. I feel like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, exactly. It's all gonna be fucking Jason Aldean and
I
then
fucked my girl on a tractor and
But
I slammed her hole real good.
But wait, but aren't most like country acts like fucking Canadian and Australian these days?
No.
very true. Orville Peck, baby.
I think the thing, what's annoying about like
Orville Peck
America
and his penis
Eurovision,
will be entering.
What would be annoying about like America Eurovision is that it would all have like political undertones to it.
Oh,
like no matter what it is,
there
every
were, like,
singing.
fucking three. It would all be "Where Is the Love" by the Black Eyed Peas, but like from like cultural angles.
No, don't worry. There's been, I mean, Eurovision has had a long, proud run of like very earnest, like Finnish 15-year-olds doing songs about climate change and shit.
Yeah.
It just is forgettable and nobody gives a fuck, which is what's, I think,
Greta Thunberg like covers Lana Del Rey.
You make me crazy. You make me wild. You
Just like baby.
make me baby. You make me spin me around like a child.
I'm supposed to be in school.
Oh my god, I fucking hate her.
You killed the planet.
Did you guys see the tweet?
Tastes just like rising CO2 levels.
There was a tweet of her where she's in Lisbon, Portugal, and she's like, Lisbon, and someone was like, thank goodness you finally came out, and it's like the rainbow flag.
Oh God.
She is my least favorite 9-year-old.
She's like 19 now.
No fucking way.
Wait, who's your favorite 9-year-old?
My favorite 9-year-old is that girl who does the redhead who does the ASMR, who goes, "Can I take your ticket? Thank you."
I'm lacking context on this one, but now I know what I'm Googling right after this.
Girl.
Mine's the Catch Me Outside girl, or like little Tay.
Who must be about
Bad
47
Baby.
years old.
Are you
Right now.
talking
Yeah,
about?
Bad Baby.
Bad Bobby, a beloved mutual of mine on Twitter.
Did you know we saw her
Really?
live too?
We saw her live, yes, and
Wait.
she follows me on Twitter.
Really?
Yes, and
How do we
she
book her for the
frankly
blog?
ripped it.
Yeah.
She is, first of all, 15 huge tits.
Yeah.
Second of all,
I'm so
she
happy
wore
for
this
her.
shirt with this big ass bee all over the front, and it was like this big felt gym bee, and it was like she did Gucci flip flops as a hit of hers, one of her hits.
Yeah.
Her many hits,
Mhm.
among others such as Hi Bitch.
Yeah. She's great. Did you know that she was the third best-selling female rapper right behind Nicki and Cardi in 2019?
2019, it went 2018, it was Cardi, Nicki, and then Bad Baby was the third best-selling rapper in the world.
That is a sad indictment. I'm now becoming a sort of second wave feminist just to correct this. Who is it this year? Do we know? Do we have any hints?
It's probably Megan.
Nature's
Megan or
healing. We are the
Doja?
virus. Yeah, there you go.
Meghan Trainor? No, I'm just kidding. It's Megan Thee Stallion. I know who you're talking about.
Megan the Trainer is
It's the girl from KEiiNO. She started a rap career.
yeah. She's doing like an orchestral cover of WAP and like it's going viral on TikTok. I can see that for her.
I can see that.
Well, we are coming up on an epically long episode, which is just a new thing we do on season 2. You know, for all of the episodes of season 2, we run a long hour and a half, an exhausting hour and a half.
Wow.
We'd like to
What a journey.
make the girls sweat.
And we have
And we
just
have
this
been.
entire I just had to peel myself off this office chair.
Yeah, not pictured were our slight like seated dance breaks that low-key made me sweat.
You meant to
I was
slide
like,
off.
God,
slide
can't you
off
just make it
your
an
chair.
8 count? I don't think I can do it at a 32.
Well, yeah. Well, no, I'm out of breath after all of this, honestly. Podcasting is cardio for me.
Yeah.
Where do people,
Fuck
the
away.
good people, find Thought Topics?
Thought Topics is everywhere you find your podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, and all the others. We're on Twitter at Thought Topics Pod. And we're on Patreon too now, patreon.com/Thought Topics.
Yeah, go give your money to thoughts and to
Yeah.
topics.
Yeah.
If you give us $35, we will send you a customized piece of merchandise, which we've just done for the first time, and it's a really good one.
Yep.
So
Is that a-
Please
is that a-
send your
is that a
thoughts and
one-time-
prayers.
Is that a one-time
Please.
donation or is that a recurring?
it's a
35?
one-time donation, and it's going to be wine. It could be, a jar of homemade pickles with a sticker I slapped on the front. It could be a handwritten note from me and your great grandmother. I might reach out.
A homemade
That's
dildo.
That's great. I love the world of
A mold in
possibility.
my tight little hole. Who knows?
Yeah, it is
I
a
love
world, truly a world of possibilities.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, beautiful ladies, thank you for being here in the Twink Rev complex.
Thank you.
In the compound.
We're happy to be part of the Twink Rev extended universe, as always.
It's been very fun, very exciting. I learned a lot of new things about the other side of the world that I didn't know existed.
Me too. I learned about people other than Swedes. There are other white people. It's crazy. There's a lot of culture happening over
I'm
there.
like, wait, where's the Mexican contestant?
The more you know. I mean, genuinely, that's what
Baile esta cumbia.
we're about. Yeah, we're about building tolerance and acceptance among the peoples of the world. It's
Among Mexicans
season 2.
in Europe.
Yeah, season 2 is a Mexican cultural exchange program. That's what
Mexican
season 2.
Revolution. What's twink in Spanish? Maricon.
El Twinko.
El twink.
Well, thank you, my loves.
Yeah, thank you.
See you all next time.
Bye.
Bye.